Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I am so excited today. I've got singer-songwriter Maisy Kay with me. So welcome, Maisy.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that you're here. We've been listening to your music. It's pretty amazing. You've got a terrific voice.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You've had a busy year.
Yes, it's going to keep being busy too the next few months, going on tour again.
You know, it's good and bad, I think, because it's nice when you're busy. That means things are going well, but it just wears you out over time.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely thrive when I'm busy work-wise, so I'm looking forward to it. But simultaneously, I've never even been away from home for that long. It's 2.5 months. I've never been away from my cat for that long or my family. So I think that would be really interesting to see because I've just never been away for that long, and it is a really long time.
You need to get you a tour bus and then just put the cat on the bus.
You know what? We are using a bus, but my cat is so sensitive. He would hate being on a bus. He'd be miserable. He's such a drama queen.
Well, cats, they seem they're almost like children. You know, they
Yes.
can be very temperamental. They can be moody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mine was literally screaming before I came on this call. My assistant had to remove him from the room because he just likes to scream. We play this game called Why Are You Crying? And because he likes to cry a lot, like he'll just wail at you, and you have to try and figure out why is he crying at you. So it is in a way like a mini kid. I'm like, why are you crying? I've fed you, I've changed your tray, I've brushed you.
I play that game with my grandkids all the time, and most of the time I can't figure it out. I usually just end up be like, well, just sit over there till you're done crying and then come back.
You just have to let him cry it out. You're like, okay, you do what you got to do. I'll see you in a minute.
Well, Maisy, let's start this way. Tell me a little bit about what got you into music. You know, when did it start? You know, were you always kind of interested in singing and playing, or is that something that came along a little bit later?
Yeah, I've definitely always been interested in pursuing music. I've been singing my whole life. My
Yeah.
parents always knew I would do something with music. I think originally I wanted to be more in musical theatre. And then when I was around 10, long story short, I wrote a little play. My primary school put it on for their summer production. I made it in the local papers. And then a recording studio in Birmingham saw me and asked if I wanted to come in and like actually record my own music, at which point I hadn't made my own music yet. So that sort of was an incentive to start trying to write, outside of musical theatre. And I think that I was probably around 11 or 12 when we started doing that.
That's early.
Yeah, I think that was the moment where I was like, okay, I think I actually prefer this to musical theatre. So I think I'm going to go in this direction now.
Well, have you ever considered that? I mean, any thoughts at some point to try to get back into theater work?
Yeah, absolutely. At one point, I was being heavily considered for a part in musical theatre, but I ended up just wanting to take the time to focus on improving my own personal career. But I think later down the line, I've always loved musical theatre. I would definitely love to do something in that universe.
Yeah. And you should. You know, I think your voice would lend itself, I think, to theater.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, very good. So I know you're here in the States now. Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in a tiny place in the countryside called Claverley. It's very small, very in the middle of nowhere. I believe the population is 1,200, so very small.
Yeah, that sounds like the town I'm in. I'm in a little town in West Virginia called St. Albans, and that's about our population.
Yeah, I loved it. I know it's not for everyone, but I loved it. Just being, we were surrounded by nature. I grew up with 4 dogs. I loved to climb trees. So I was just always outside in the
Yeah.
wildlife. I loved it.
What's the big city that's closest to?
The big city. Okay. It's like an hour from Birmingham, which I feel
Okay.
like most people know Birmingham. But
Yeah.
everyone always says, "Oh, you're from London." And I'm like, "No, London's actually like 3 hours away from
Yeah.
me. Not close. It's not, I'm not from London."
See, I get that because that would be like, you know, I'm from West Virginia and somebody saying, "Well, you're from Kentucky." Well, no,
Right.
it's just because it's close.
I've reached a point where I'll just go, "Yeah." You know, they're like, "You're from London," and I'll go, "Yeah." You know, it's like close enough, close enough. Like whatever.
Well, you've got that accent that everybody loves, though. Everybody loves that kind of European UK accent. I'm straddled with this West Virginia accent, so I get a lot of, you know, where are you from?
No, right. Well, people ask me that too now because I've lived in America so long, and depending on the day, really, my accent sort of switches from partial British to partial American. Like there are
Yeah.
some words that I definitely say like an American now. And whenever I go home to England, all my friends make fun of me. They're like, "Oh my God, you sound ridiculous."
That's the thought that I think most UK people have with all Americans when they come over. It's like these guys sound ridiculous. And we
Yeah.
kind of do.
Yeah. Just a tad, just a tad.
So Macy, you started the year, I think, with you put out Sunlight. That sound right? Back in, or well, it was on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Sunlight. It's a beautiful song, but what's the story behind it?
Yeah, so Sunlight was inspired when I essentially bought a coffee machine for my apartment, and I don't drink coffee, but the person I was seeing did. And I thought it would be really lovely to be able to make them coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I realized what like a small gesture that was, but what a meaningful sign of love it also was, and what a big deal that was for me and the sort of person I know myself to be. I'm very melancholy. I'm very cynical when it comes to love. I think I kind of always have been. I don't think I've ever really been in love in a mature adult way before. So that was sort of my first time experiencing it. And so I really wanted to write about all these small, like simple gestures, like holding hands or like having a cup of coffee on the table in the morning, like these small acts of love that end up coming together to symbolize this much greater thing in life.
You know, I brought that song up for that very reason. My wife and I have, you know, we get asked, we've been together for a while, and people will ask, you know, what's the secret, you know, that type of stuff. And that's always the answer we give. It's the little things. You know, it's not the big gestures. Those are nice. It's the little things that you do for each other that they don't take any time really, but it just demonstrates the affection or the love that you have. I make her coffee every morning. Not that she couldn't make it herself. But I get
Yeah.
up, I make that pot, you know, and I bring her first cup, and then she's kind of on her own after that. But that's my way of telling her, hey, you know, I know you're not really a morning person. I'm gonna make you a cup of coffee. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's so lovely. And it is so true. It doesn't need to be all these grandiose gestures. It's just these small little things that really resonate with you.
Yeah, and the song does such a good job kind of bringing that out. It was I'll say a little bit of a surprising love song. I don't know what I was expecting. I saw it came out on Valentine's Day, so you'd think I'd have a hint, but it surprised me a little bit because it touched on something that we talk about quite a bit. So I really like that one.
Oh, thank you. I think many people were surprised. Again, like I said, most of my old stuff is very sad. And so I kind of dropped that one, and everyone that's listened to me for a long time was like, oh my God, she's happy. Everyone calm down. She's happy for once. What's going on? They're happy songs.
Everybody freeze. We don't want to mess it up.
I was like, oh my God, don't breathe too heavily. We might ruin
it. So after that, I think was In Your Car.
Yes.
That came out a few months later. Another really good song. A little bit different. So what was that one about?
Yeah. So the inspiration for that one was again sort of inspired by a small gesture. The person I was seeing would always open my car door for me, like
Yeah.
always. Which again, such a small
Nice.
thing, but something that was really sweet. And so where I think Sunlight sort of explores these small, meaningful gestures, In Your Car sort of takes it and challenges it a little bit. It's looking more into the unknowing future of this relationship and saying, you know, once this honeymoon phase passes, once things don't feel constantly so beautiful and magical the way they always do at the start of any relationship, you know, you're in cloud nine. And it's sort of saying, when that leaves, will you still open this door for me? Will you still show up and show me these extra gestures of love and affection once that initial infatuation phase has passed, and when things get difficult, and you know, when there are disagreements, and when things aren't perfect, will you still show me this baseline of care? So it's sort of, it's a love song, but there's also underlying anxiety with it and questions of, will this last? Will you keep doing this for me?
Yeah, you kind of feel that, I think,
Yeah.
listening to it. You feel it's got kind of like a undercurrent of anxiety.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I was talking with my daughter about about this song, and I kept telling her, I was like, "There's something there that I'm feeling a little bit, but I can't put put it into words. But that's kind of what it is. It's a little bit of feeling of anxiety when you're listening to it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's saying, well, you know, I love this right now, but will you keep doing it? You know, it's that sort of lingering question you get, which, will they keep showing up for me in this way? Will they keep that? It's so great right now, but will it stay? So I liked getting to incorporate that into a record. Like, it's a love song, but then if you really listen to the lyrics, you see that sort of underlying anxiousness, I suppose.
Yeah, I can't miss it now. Now that you've said it, I was like, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Have you always written about, your personal experience? Is that normally what kind of inspires you?
I would say definitely yes. One of the things I vividly remember saying in many, many of my writing sessions as a teenager was, don't ask me to write a love song. I can't write something I don't feel. So I always needed to, I can take sort of creative liberty, especially in sort of a writing session with other people. It's more sort of easier to play around with what we're saying in those settings, but I always needed to be able to relate to it at the very least. Like, it needed to ring true to me and what I was feeling, which is why, again, I think a lot of my older songs were quite sad and were quite heartbreak based, because that is what I was feeling. And I, true to myself, never released a love song until now, because I just never felt it. And this whole EP was written just by me, and it's a very accurate representation of where I'm at in life. And I think you can say that about most of my music.
Yeah, I kind of love that. It's a little snapshot of what you're either going through or what you just went through.
Yeah, it's nice. I think at first I thought maybe people wouldn't be able to relate to my personal experiences. That's my cat in the background.
I was gonna say, I see the cat.
But I think that's what's so lovely about releasing music too and making art, is you realize how many people do connect to your experiences, and that we're all really not as alone as we feel. Even if our experiences feel very alone to us, they're not. And I think that's what releasing music that's more personal to me has really taught me, whether it's sad or happy. I see people relate to it. I see people experience it. Even if they didn't experience my literal life, they feel it and it resonates with them. And I think that's really lovely.
Yeah, I think the best songs do that. You know, the best songs, obviously, they weren't written for you individually, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you can't adapt it to
No,
fit your circumstances,
absolutely.
which is what we all do. You know,
Yeah.
music has that ability to take you back to a moment in time, or to, you know, bring back that memory that you know, it could be bittersweet, it could be painful, could be joyous, you know, but music kind of brings you back to that. So your music in particular, I think absolutely does that.
Oh, thank you.
Tells a story almost.
Yeah, I love storytelling in any way. I really try to make sure all of my songs have a very specific storyline.
Yeah, I should have asked. Do you play any instruments?
Yeah, I play piano and a little bit of guitar.
Yeah, I was. If I had to guess, I was going to say piano. Just has.
Piano is definitely my number one.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm guessing guitar, you at least play enough to help you with the songwriting.
Yeah, I know like the basic chords. I never have mastered the bar chords because my fingers are too weak.
Yeah.
Like I know how to play them, but I like can't press down hard enough to do a bar chord. So that's a bit of a hurdle, I suppose, in the guitar. But I know like the basic chords. I think I actually originally wrote Technicolor Honeymoon on guitar first, which is very funny, before I transferred it to piano. So sometimes I write on guitar, very rarely.
Talk about where that name came from, because I love the name Technicolor Honeymoon, which was your next one that you put out. So what was that one about? Where'd that name come from?
So I think that was inspired by a trip that we took to Hawaii, and it was the best vacation I'd ever personally been on, and it was very exciting for me, and I knew that I needed to talk about it in some way. And if I remember correctly, I may be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure the name just came to me out of nowhere. I think I had the line there, I just wanna be with you. And then I knew it went da 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 da. And so I was like playing on the guitar and I knew I had I just want to be with you. And I'm pretty sure it was just like a snap, and I said Technicolor Honeymoon. Like it wasn't something I had to really think about. It just kind of came out. And then I was like, oh,
I know
that's
it
good.
fits so well.
I was like, wait, no, Technicolor Honeymoon, that's really cool. And that was the moment I started getting really excited about the song.
Well, and did I read that it hit number one on a couple of the charts?
It did. It went to number one on the US iTunes pop charts. It went to number 5 on the US iTunes charts. It was very exciting.
I mean, that's big numbers.
Yeah, oh my God. And especially, I'm just like independent. I'm out here with my team. Like to see me up there with like Sabrina Carpenter and like all these like big names right now. I was like, oh my God. And then that's me. That's my song there.
Well, I mean, you may not quite be to that level, but your voice belongs on that level, my opinion.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it's coming. You're putting out so much. Your time's coming. You know, not that it's not here already, but I think big things on the horizon.
Thank you. I really hope so. We definitely have a lot of content that we're coming out with, and we're all working really hard. So I think that's the best thing you could do.
Yeah, yeah. So the first EP, and I like what you're doing with these, came out in May. It's called Wanderlust the Dawn, and you've got Wanderlust the Dusk coming out later this fall. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. What made you split those up? Or does each album have kind of its own theme, and that determined where you put the music?
Yeah, so I would say The Dusk is definitely a slightly darker. It's like a nighttime sister to part one, if you will. It's the same general storyline. I knew I didn't want to do an album because that's a really big commitment to do an album, but at the same time, after we did part one, I just thought, well, we still have so many really cool songs. Like, I don't want to just shelve them. And so the idea of doing like a part 2 EP came up. And I would say, yeah, sound wise, it's a little darker. There's some songs with like a little more grit. So I know people that liked my older stuff that was like a little darker and grittier. There's like hints to that in this part 2. It's not like full blown, like blood-filled tears level, like sad and gloom, but it shows a little more of the darkness there. And I think, yeah, I wrote all of those songs, all 12 of them, I believe, just because it's what I was feeling. I didn't know when I was writing them that it would become an EP. It was actually
Right.
just supposed to be a personal present for the person that the songs were about. And then after Technicolor Honeymoon, I realized, oh, these songs are good actually. Like I'm like, oh, I think I have to show my team these songs at this point, because it was just supposed to be like an anniversary present for this guy. But then I was like, oh no, wait a minute, actually, these are really good. And by that point, I think I had 8 or 9 of them just written already. So I sort of came up to my team and I was like, hi, I have a bunch of music. What should we do about it? And then we decided on the 2-part EP eventually.
What was he okay with sharing his, personal songs?
He loves it. He's very supportive. Or his friends, his friends always sing that, he was born on the day of love to him now. He was born on Valentine's Day. That's why that lyric exists. So
I
everyone
love that.
feels like a joke with him now, but he loves it. He's very supportive and he thinks the songs are legitimately really good. So I mean, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's exactly if a friend of mine had their significant other write songs about them, I guarantee you I would be teasing them.
Oh, you have to.
But good natured.
Yeah, good natured. It's all a bit of fun, but you have to a little bit.
Yeah, a little, right?
What friends are for?
Tell me about Karma, because I listened to that one this morning. That one's really good too, and it's more of a collaboration.
Yes. So I believe my original version of Karma came out in 2022.
Yeah.
And then Tiësto heard it not long after that and wanted to remix it, which was obviously incredible. And we had that.
That's not a hard one to say yes to, I don't think.
No, it was very easy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he gave us the track. I remember getting an email and they were like, if you have any notes or anything, just let us know. And I listened to it and I was like, well, this is brilliant. And I have no notes and I love it. So that's it. So essentially, I think we just ended up sitting on it until now. Like we've had the actual track for a couple years and we've just been waiting for the right moment to do the release. So it's really nice to like actually get to release it now, just because I've been listening to it for so long and I would always play people it and I'm like, listen to this sick remix I have. Like it's really cool. So it's nice to like have it out in the world now because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, that's actually fits in perfect with all the new music you're bringing out, so you can kind of throw that in there as well. And like I said, you've been very prolific this year, and you just had a new song come out Friday.
Yes.
What's that one called?
That one is called Love is a God.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And that one's really good. That's really good. Tell us the story behind that one.
Yeah, so Love is a God, I sort of wanted to write a little bit more about. We've gone past the honeymoon stage of the relationship now. This is a little deeper in. And for me, love is this very all-encompassing thing. Like it's very much a driving force in my life. And it sort of feels almost spiritual to me in the way that it just does like require and take such a big part of my soul. So that's why I really wanted to go with love is a God, like the actual act of love is this driving power in my life that I feel led by almost.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to name it that. So it's sort of a deeper look into not just a relationship, but just the concept of what love is itself to me personally and how it affects my spirituality.
Yeah. Yeah. I love how I mentioned it before, but your songs tell a story. They're kind of connected, which I always loved growing up, those albums that the music was all kind of connected. Each song kind of led you further down the path. And your music kind of does that. It's not just one song, one romantic song. You're talking the whole journey. You've got the whole relationship, the deeper meanings with love and feelings that you have for somebody, the anxiety of a relationship, because we all go through that. We all have those moments of doubt, but like, oh, what happens if this isn't real or it doesn't last and that type of stuff. Everybody goes through that, but you tell the whole story. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted it to feel like a very finished product of work. And to do that, I think you have to explore a lot of different sides to what a relationship is. And I think both of these EPs do a good job of sort of going over those different stages.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. Are you doing music videos with them?
Yes, actually, I'm shooting one. What day is it today? The 10th? Next week.
Does that help the theater background? Does that help with that?
I think it plays into it. I definitely love theatrics. I love dressing up. I love costumes. I can say that we are going all out with the costumes for this video. We're
Well,
doing
are you telling a story like the songs do, or is it more you playing on stage, the video of you on stage?
Oh no, there's a definite storyline.
Okay. I like
Yeah,
that.
and I
That's
had a
like
lot
old
to
school
say.
videos.
I had a lot to say with specifically what I wanted for it. It's very fun. It's very fantasy. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of love that. It's I grew up, I remember when MTV came out, and before MTV there was Friday night videos, and we'd sit around and watch those videos. And it's changed now because now everything's streaming, and is, the formats are different, but the videos are still really cool.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, my favorite sort of videos are where we can really just play into my love of fiction and
Yeah.
fantasy. And I really do like to go all out. I love dressing up. That's why my stage costumes are so extravagant. I just feel very confident in a costume. I always have. So I feel like the videos are a good way to sort of show a bit more of my creative side, and that I like to be a little weird, and I like to dress up a bit, and I like to like give you a fantasy almost. I like to give you like a show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we go to a lot of concerts, and that's the ones I like the best. The one where it's not just somebody coming out and singing, which is fine, but more it's a whole production.
Yeah,
It's almost like going to a play or a musical. It's just the whole
absolutely.
thing.
Yeah, I think that's especially as an up and coming artist, I feel like that's something that I feel comfortable with in a way to sort of stand out a little bit, because so many people are doing the same thing and they have brilliant voices, and everyone, deserves it. And you have to sort of find something that can give you an edge. And mine is, at the end of the day, I'm still that nerdy little 10-year-old that really likes to dress up in costumes. So let's just lean into that and keep doing it. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why
Why
not?
not?
Are you going on tour anytime soon?
Yeah, no, I'm actually in the middle of a tour right now. I'm opening for Tori Kelly on her Purple Skies World Tour.
I
We
mean,
just,
that's not a bad person to open in front of. That's pretty
oh
good.
my goodness, she is the most talented person I've ever seen live. She is an exceptional vocalist. And we just finished the Asia run, which was about 2 weeks long, which is really cool.
Nice.
And then, yeah, in a couple days, actually, we get started on the US leg, and that is 2.5 months.
Yeah, I saw you're coming out my way. You're going to be in Cleveland, I think, around the 1st of October. That's about 4 hours away from us, so we'll try to make that one because that'd
Oh,
be
that would be
amazing.
lovely.
We like those. You drive somewhere for the day, spend the night. Go to a show, get a fancy dinner, and then come back the next day. It's a nice little mini vacation.
Yeah, that is fun. I like that. I hope you
Yeah.
guys can make it.
But yeah, I'm hoping we can come check you out. I think it was like right around the 1st of October.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, Maisy, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time. The music is terrific. Absolutely love your voice. Think you're so talented, and I love the fact that we don't have to wait for the music. I mean, you're putting it out there. It's like one a month pretty much.
Yeah, we have a lot of content, which is good. We've got to stay busy.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So before I let you go, Maisy, anything else that you're working on that we can kind of keep an eye out for?
Well, definitely the music video that we're shooting, that will be
Mhm.
coming out later this year. And
What's
I'm
the
really
song?
excited. It's called Cosmically Intertwined, which everyone on the Asia run of the Tory tour will know already because I perform it. So,
Yeah, that's kind of exciting. Is there a story behind that one?
yes, yeah. Cosmically Intertwined is sort of this idea that two people are meant for each other and will find each other in every lifetime.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds very hopeful.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So last thing, Maisy, before I let you go, where can we find you? Where can we find your music on social media?
Yeah, so I am at Maisy Kay on everything, and that is MAISYKAY.
Yeah, you came right up.
Yeah, I have a unique name, so that works in my favor.
I know, but it's very it sounds like a musician or a rock star, I think.
I would agree. That's actually, yeah, that's my legal first name, Maisy Kay. My mom named me that, so thanks,
Well, she
Sally.
did good.
Yeah, no.
Good job, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, Maisy, you'll have to come back once everything's out. You'll have to come back and give us an update on how it's going.
Yes, I would love to.
Yeah, this has been terrific. Okay, hold on one second. Maisy Kay, please make sure that you check out her music. It is fantastic. Just a one. She was playing around and singing a few notes there during the interview, and you could tell she has got a fantastic voice. Really, really strong. So check her out, Maisy Kay. The new song is Love is a God. It came out Friday. It's available everywhere. But also keep track of her EPs, Wanderlust the Dawn, and very shortly, Wanderlust the Dusk. So make sure you check both of those out. Thank you guys for watching us and being with us again this week. Definitely don't take you for granted. So happy that you're here. If you happen to be finding us for the first time, our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. Really helps us out. It's free. Our website is MeisterCon. If I can get it out, our website is meistercon.com. You can find right now 838 episodes, audio and video versions on the website, meistercon.com. So check us out there as well. Appreciate. Let's try this again. It's been one of those days. Thank goodness I didn't do that when Maisy was on. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you being here. Until next time. Bye, everybody.